Welcome to another Earthscapes training video. Today's video talks about advanced cloning techniques, how to remove away that unwanted plant material. Now, many times when you get started with your project sites, you have a fiercely overgrown landscape, as we see in the picture posted within our Corel Photo Paint application. We're going to walk through some different techniques of how to remove, clean up, cover up the old material so that you can then perhaps show some tree trimming or the removal of some items as a before and an after for your client's review. With our image opened in Photo Paint, I want to go ahead and utilize some masking tools first. So within the application, what we'll do is we're using our masking tools. I have a rectangle mask, ellipse, freehand. I select the freehand and I'm taking into consideration what's clean here and what has plant material that we need to remove. And our primary focus for today's tutorial video is removing away this crown of the tree and the plant material that's above on our windows. So we're going to take into consideration what is clean, and I'm just using my freehand mask to outline a section of the roof line. So we're just going to come down here, left click as you go to use this freehand mask, double click to set your mask line. Once this is produced, you can then go to Object, Create, Copy Selection, or use a keyboard shortcut, Control plus the up arrow. And what happens when you place that Control plus the up arrow, our mask is now turned into an object. I'll then go to Object, Flip horizontally, and we'll place our item right on top and position it so it covers up a good portion of our tree already. So let's just carry this on, and you can bump up your objects up, down, left, or right just by using the arrow keys. So I'm just going to bump it up a little bit more. Okay, great. The next step is using the zoom tool. We'll zoom in, making use of that freehand mask, or you can even use the rectangle mask. I'm going to copy a section of the windows. Again, Control up arrow, that's going to duplicate our windows and allow for us to copy the section of our windows, move them into position. Now with this image, we have the section of our larger house mask that's covering up. So I'm just using my eraser tool. I'm just erasing away, because this is, let me zoom out so you can take a better look. This is that section of the house that we copied from the left hand side. So I'm just using the eraser tool to remove away or erase away that section of the house. Again, this was the copied section that we masked off from the left hand side. That's why I can erase it. The next step, let's zoom back in. Let's make sure we're selected on the background, and I'll use my clone tools. With the clone tools, I want to select a square, left click once to select your clone from, and I'll left click once again to select my clone to. Let's just go ahead and left click and move left to right. And you can see we're just moving left to right and just picking up what the left hand box sees and copying it in that right hand box. Okay, great. We can even continue with our brick pattern and remove away some of this overgrown Boston ivy or whatever this intrusive plant is. And of course, you can reset your clone tool with a right click, recopy it, and position move it as needed. But as we come back out to a full screen, you'll see that it's doing a great job in terms of removing away the old plant material. For this window down here where the plant material is covered, we could steal another window from a different perspective of this property, of this house, and be able to copy, using the masking tool, copy out that image, turning it into an object and placing it right over top of this overgrown plant material. So that's just something to take into consideration. The next step is we'll focus on the tree canopy that we see on the roof line. So let's zoom in. Using my clone tool once again, I'm going to select a larger square, and this is going to be more of the transparent edge block versus a solid block. And left click and drag, and as you can see, we're just using that clone tool to move left and right. Once we get to a certain point, we can then reset our clone tool on the vertical versus the horizontal. Again, we're just going to left click and drag and reposition as needed. So just left click and drag. It takes a little bit of time to clean up an existing property, but using the different tools and techniques together, the masking tools, the clone tools, this really does expand your ability to erase away unneeded and unwanted plant material from your project site. So whether you are offering maybe tree removal services, or if you are offering design services and want to remove away all plant material before you create that new design, these are great tools to work with and use. Again, I'm just using the clone tool, and we're just moving left and right, replacing or really building upon our clone areas. I believe our pattern goes down, and we'll just carry this across. Okay, so the next part is I want to steal some brick, and we'll take some clean brick from this section here. And you might have a couple leaves as well, so let's just go ahead and select this section. And as you can see, just setting your clone tool on the vertical, on the horizontal, allows for you to clean up even the smallest of areas. So let's go back to our background. Let's select our masking tools. Let's mask off a large section using the rectangle mask. Let's mask off a large section of the brick. Control up arrow turns it into an object, where you can go up to object on that top menu bar. And all I'm going to do is just duplicate. Control D. We're going to duplicate this brick pattern across. And you'll see here in a moment that it does allow for us to kind of cover up that old landscape. And of course we could continue this down onto our photo. But this does give our customer a great representation of a clean project site with that tree removed. So if we showed them before versus the after, you can see the distinctive difference by removing away or trimming away that tree. So we hope that this tutorial helps when it comes into cleaning up or removing away the unwanted plant material from your project sites. If you have further questions, give our office a call, and we're happy to help you out. Thank you for your time.